like a lot of teams, and just like a lot of players, when they first burst onto the scene, they're very impactful and stat sheet filling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next year, teams understand that this is a guy that can consistently change the game in many ways if we let him. And, the stats will go down as a result. He might not be affecting the game in terms of, getting the tackles, but he's preventing specific plays from happening just by his presence.
So I guess what have you seen, though, because it is his last year,
Yeah.
there is, he's got big aspirations. I guess what have you seen from him this offseason?
I mean, in terms of difference in preparation of the last year is, he's taken on an increased load in terms of watching film and how he approaches things in the weight room. As you get older and understand what you need to do, your understanding of how you need to approach football changes, and he's grown very well in terms of how he prepares for the season and how he gets himself ready.
What's it been like working with Anthony Campanelli?
So since I'm at Will, I don't really get coached by him. I've obviously interacted with him a lot, and I had some reps at Viper during the spring, so I interacted with him on a coach player basis for a little bit. He's a great coach, brings a lot of energy, and I wouldn't want to have anyone else there instead of him at this moment. And Khalik, and he also coaches the Sam. So Khalik, Uche, and the younger guys, I don't think they have one bad thing to say about him in terms of him personally or him as a coach and how he approaches teaching them. So
how have you seen then, Don and everyone else that you are associating with, whether they are newer or ones that have been established? How have they have they changed the way that they've approached defense at all, the urgency post the Ohio State game?
Yeah, so I know Coach Brown was very upset with the outcome, and there were obviously, as players, we need to play better because our defense has no holes. If everyone does their job, then it's going to be a 0-yard gain every time. So obviously, as players, we need to do better. And I know that he was in some ways upset about how the game turned out from a coaching perspective. And I don't know if that means he's going to handle it differently, because I know he handles every game and every opponent with the utmost respect, and he formulates great game plans every single week. All I know, I don't have a very deep understanding of how the coaches handle things, because I'm not in the room when they talk about it or when they come up with the game plan. I just know that as players, we need to perform and do what the coaches ask of us, because if we do, we're going to be successful.
How much of the shortcomings, Ohio State bowl game last couple of years, how much of those discussed? I know Partridge had the blood in his mouth comment, in the spring. I mean, how much as the players, is it just implied and it's just motivating individually, or do you guys actually sit down and say,
Yeah. So individually, I know that everyone, at least me personally, and I'm pretty sure that everyone has that on their mind. I mean, there's not one day that goes by where I'm thinking about football where I don't think about every single game that we're playing, getting ready for the season, and then our rivals, and what's happened in the past and what I need to do in the present to succeed in the future. So, I think about what the last 4 or 5 years, however long I've been here, I think about what's happened, and I use those experiences to grow, and then I try and I make sure to think that those don't impact what's going to happen going forward. It doesn't matter what happened last year. All that matters is when it comes to game day. So we have a process. I know that we have a great process in the football program. The strength staff, the coaching staff, the players, everyone understands what they need to do to get better and to achieve success. And I think that we're all doing it right now.
What has it been like for the seniors? This is the first senior class. It's all Harbaugh players, or initially Harbaugh players. I guess, what have you guys done, or what has it been like putting, seniors kind of control the identity of the team, and what sort of what sort of traits do you want this team to really be able to lean on?
Yeah, so, well, in terms of my class, the fifth-year seniors, the only other person is Runyon, actually. So we have 2 people from my class, which, I wish we had more, but, that's just how things work out. And obviously, the class below me, very talented. I mean, one already got picked 10th in the NFL draft, and we have a lot of great players from that class. Kalik, Josh Metellus, Devin Gill, and a lot of others. I mean, we're just a hard-nosed. We're just a hard-nosed team. We don't care who our opponent is. We're gonna go out there and give it our all. And it doesn't matter if you're banged up or how you feel. All that matters is that you better perform, because every individual in some respect is carrying the weight of the team on every single play. Whether that be in practice or in a game. And it's our job to make sure, as individuals and as individuals, to make sure that the team succeeds.
Yesterday, I asked a bunch of the Ohio State players. They said that they focus on Michigan almost on a daily basis to some degree, and that included a bunch of different drills and things that they would do. Where Harbaugh's long said that it's Ohio State's focus that it comes, because there's a treatment of every team gets the proper treatment. Do you see one as being better than the other, or why is the way that you guys do things the correct way to do it?
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. There are a lot of different ways that you can handle things. Someone else's process may be different than ours, and that may have benefits, that may have detriments. But as a team, Coach Harbaugh may have said that we don't focus on Ohio State in terms of putting up Ohio State posters or saying like, okay, we're gonna do this next 9-on-7 for Ohio State. I think individually, people, like I said earlier, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about every team that we play, especially our rivalry games, Michigan State, Ohio State, Notre Dame. I think that it comes down to the individual, how you want to approach that. What do you want to do to make sure that we have the upper hand? Is that work hard, make sure that you go all out in the reps that we're given in terms of the workout? Because what benefit does it have if you half-ass a workout or a practice, and then after the practice you go do another drill for Ohio State or for Michigan State or for Notre Dame, if you just didn't give it your all in the 2.5 hours that you were working out, or 2.5 hours that you have practice? I'm not saying that they do that. I'm just saying that giving what I see is ultimate respect to another team is during practice week. Every single play I try and give it 100%, because if I don't give it 100% in the game, then bad things are going to happen, because the other team is looking to exploit every single weakness that we have.